Hubungan bilateral Indonesia dan Perancis sudah terjalin sejak tahun 1950. Beragam kerjasama terus dijajaki kedua negara. Setidaknya ada lebih dari 200 perusahaan Perancis berada di Indonesia dan menjadi lahan pekerjaan bagi lebih dari 50.000 pekerja Indonesia. Duta besar Perancis untuk Indonesia Olivier Chambard memaparkan angka tersebut berkontribusi pada tren positif ekonomi kedua negara, termasuk pemulihan ekonomi Indonesia dan Perancis yang menjadi salah satu prioritas tema Presidensi G20. Bagaimana pandangan Duta Besar Perancis untuk Indonesia tentang Presidensi G20? Berikut wawancaranya.
Selamat pagi. Saat ini Prancis sedang memegang peran sebagai Presiden Uni Eropa dan Indonesia juga sedang menjadi tuan rumah Presidensi G20 2022. Kabar baiknya kedua negara sepakat untuk lebih membangun komunikasi dalam beberapa isu global dan apa saja nanti yang akan dibahas dan bagaimana Indonesia dan Prancis berdiplomasi, mengatur strategi dan mencari solusi di masa presidensi ini. Kita akan membahasnya langsung dengan Duta Besar Prancis untuk Indonesia, His Excellency Olivier Chambard. Very good morning, Ambassador.
Hello, selamat pagi.
Selamat
maybe
pagi.
selamat siang.
Selamat siang, yes. It's sudah jam 11 memang, yes. Thank you for your time and having us here, CNN Indonesia TV, for this interview.
I'm very happy to meet with you. Your podcasting is always very interesting, and I had the chance to meet with your colleagues already in the past future.
Ambassador, so we would like to discuss about Presidency G20 this year. So as we know, all recover together, recover stronger is a theme raised by Indonesia, and we will need to more struggle to unite all the G20 members to recover the economy, especially when the global economy is shaken by COVID-19. So how do you describe this recover together, recover stronger in this G20 presidency, Ambassador Olivier?
Well, I think that President Jokowi was absolutely right in choosing this motto for G20 because in the world, the globalized world in which we live, you cannot have a satisfactory recovery, a strong recovery, without this recovery being global. So recover stronger, but recover together, because if we are not together, the recovery will not be good enough.
That's why we need to unite not only the G20 members, but also the whole countries.
Yes, but the G20 is a group that represents the 20 economies, the 20 largest economies in the world. So, of course, it's the participation of all economies is important, but those 20 economies are a driving force in the economy and can bring together the other economies.
Yeah, so do you agree with sustainable economy is resilient economy when it comes to economic recovery?
It's not that I agree, but there's no choice. A recovery, an economic recovery which will not be sustainable is eventually the death of all economies. Now we have no choice. We are in the urgency to fight against climate change and to adapt our industries. It's difficult. It takes, of course, it takes money, but it takes willpower. And France is very impressed by Indonesia's initiatives to reach carbon neutrality, and France will do a lot to help Indonesia. We have in Indonesia many companies which are working on renewable energies, so we are keen to work together with Indonesia, and we are already working together with Indonesia on that field.
Absolutely. So before we talking about our bilateral relations, we will talk about the presidency, because currently France is hosting the presidency of the Commission of the European Union, and also Indonesia is hosting the G20 presidency 2022. And the good news is both countries are agreed to continue to improve the communication between both countries tackling the global issues. What was the latest communication conducted by two countries during this presidency?
Well, there were many contacts and phone calls. The the message of the French government was that precisely we are holding presidency of two major bodies at the same time, so we should use that as a synergy, and we develop a lot of contacts between us to work together to have a great success in G20. So G20 is happening in this very difficult context, and I must say I'm impressed by the way the Indonesian authorities, the Kemlu, the Presidency, and Ministry of Finance, and all the ministries, because all the ministries are involved in G20, to tackle and to adapt to this very difficult situation. We think that, of course, G20 is an economic body, but because of the war in Ukraine, things cannot be business as usual. So that's a very complicated line we have to create with innovative ideas, and we are working closely with Indonesia on that matter.
If we combine the population between France and Indonesia, do you think that all corporations correspond to the potential of two countries?
No, well, one thing is certain is that we can do a lot more. Clearly.
What we can do to develop
because we have a strong economic presence here, a strong investment. We have around 200 French companies here, and those companies are employing more than 50,000 Indonesian workers. So it's a contribution to the Indonesian economy, because many of these companies are producing in Indonesia with Indonesian workers for the Indonesian market or for the regional market, so thus contributing to the trade balance of Indonesia very positively, and in terms of investment also. So our presence is good. I think we should develop that.
The G20 summit will be held in Bali this November. So the leaders from G20 country members are some leaders already give the confirmation with their attendance, whether in person or online. So I would like to ask the latest confirmation from the President Emmanuel Macron. Will the President attend in person for the G20 summit this year in Bali?
France and President Macron said it to President Jokowi during one of their phone calls. France is keen to help Indonesia in the success of the Indonesian G20 presidency, and of course the summit, which is one of the highlights. You know, I mentioned the war in Ukraine, which is causing a lot of huge problem on all sectors. Normally, the French president will be there. It's clear that we want to help Indonesia. Of course, when you are witnessing a war, you cannot be certain of what's going the next step. So I think that there are very good chances that the president is coming, but I cannot give you any kind of confirmation.
So that's all our interview with CNN Indonesia. Thank you very much, and good luck for the presidency of the Commission of the European Union. And then thank you very much for your time and for welcoming us here. And thank you very much. Terima kasih Ambassador Olivier Chambard.
Sampai jumpa lagi.
Terima kasih.